REALIGNMENT here. I mean, think about it. If we didn't have all this crying, and you can't say there's not a lot of crying going on. We can't be competitive. We just can't do it. These young guys, they're working all year long. You got to see them. We can't do it. I'm just kidding, man. Thanks, your boy Mikey. Can we keep it real podcast? What is going on, everybody? Real quick, want to thank the people that make this possible, man. Big shout out to Mark Wright, co-op banker, Coastal Homes, a presidential award winner. We got to support the people that support youth sports. Big shout out to VOYCE Sports. Definitely check out what VOYCE Sports has going on. The VOYCE Sports Reporter Show was definitely lit this week. Big shout out to Rally Point. The only way to stand is together. And don't forget, check out what VOYCE Sports has going on with the Unfinished Business Tour. Getting ready to take off. Check out yesterday's show with Al Spears handling his thing, Showtime Athletes, and also from the Rocky Top Sports world. Definitely give Al Spears a call today. Al Spears got it going on and popping, man. Big shout out to Breakthrough Elite. You already know you ain't getting it down unless it's Breakthrough, right? They're getting ready to take off to Atlanta, man. Why don't we wish Breakthrough, Stanley Dunbar and Breakthrough all types of luck, man. They're going to be out there balling. We're working on getting them a field right now. And big shout out to all these guys. Definitely, this is big. The NITO, Rhode Island Chapter National Football Foundation, man. Shout out to all these ball players. Everything that all you coaches have going on. But you already know what we're here to talk about. Oh, no, not that. Oh, we're here to talk about the realignment. That's right. So we're going to get this music out of here. I just want to thank all the great people, all the supporters. Here. I mean, think about it. If we didn't have all this crying, and you can't say there's not a lot of crying going on. We can't be competitive. We just can't do it. These young guys, they're working all year long. You got to see them. We can't do it. I'm just kidding, man. But, shout out to the young coaches. I mean, because, you know what? These young coaches, they're putting in work all season long. Uncle Felix, what's going on, man? I'll get you up here in 1 minute. Let me get this. How are we doing today?
Not bad. How's it going, Mikey?
You already know slow motion better than no motion is a new saying that I've been saying. But, going, doing my thing. I knew right when this realignment was coming out, it was gonna be another crazy one because it always is. But how you been these last couple of weeks before we get into that?
Not bad. I was in Miami a few weeks ago. Well, actually, yeah, that's right. I was on the show with you when I was in Miami.
Yes, you was.
We got back about a week ago. Just hanging out. Matter of fact, right before I called in, I was catching up on my Power, the Book of Force. There, you watched that?
Oh yeah, actually, I haven't seen much of it lately, but yeah, I'm very familiar with it.
Yeah, great show.
I want to play this real quick. Congratulations, man. My man Sincere Fernandez committed to Springfield, right?
Yes, committed. He received his welcome package actually today. Found out he was the recipient of some kind of presidential academic award, so he's going to get a pretty good financial package.
Congratulations to him. Now, both your boys are in college. How are you going to juggle going to the two schools?
That's going to be interesting. I mean, we'll figure something out.
Definitely, man. How was your trip to Miami? Good?
It was good, fun, relaxing. Would have been better about 20 years ago, but
I know. Imagine you in Miami 20 years ago. Like that would have put you there. Like, oh my goodness.
It's funny because now, it's funny because I did go there about 20 years ago when I was in my 20s and had the time of my life. But this time around, it was I was the irresponsible adult.
Yeah, it's a totally different game. This guy will explain it.
When I came up, dude, football was it was gladiated. It was angry. It was angry. Like when we hit somebody, when I played, if you hit somebody and he didn't get up, like we didn't hold hands with the other team and pray, like hold hands and everyone prays for him to get up. We used to do a Indian, like sell a hump dance circle around, like yeah, look at you. And be like, and our crowd's like, he's paralyzed. That's right. We be looking for his mother crying, be like, that's right, lady. That's what you get for letting him out here with killers. He can't even wiggle his toes. Take his socks. Take his socks. And we would tie his socks around our helmet for the next week. Like the next team, they knew, oh, that's the team that be tying paralyzed niggas' socks around their helmets to scare them next week.
That wasn't that long ago,
Yeah,
but I
that's the
remember them games. Central, Mount Pleasant was always a cravel rivalry that happened up at Mount Pleasant. Oh my goodness.
yeah, the legendary Patrice O'Neill. I met him actually when he came down to Twin River. He did a show. But
Yeah.
God rest his soul.
Yeah, definitely crazy realignment. We're gonna get into it and talk about it, but I hope everybody can share the stream real quick. I want to talk about Division 3 today. Especially want to talk a little bit about Northsmithfield. We'll definitely get into that. Are you familiar with how the realignment went down?
I wasn't until you sent me the paper over with the breakdown, and thank you for that, by the way. And I gotta say, it's pretty disappointing. Hopefully, from what I understand, the RIIL is asking, I guess, the other coaches what they think about it. So hopefully, it's not a final product. But people need to stand up and make some noise because to me, it's unacceptable.
That's right. Reach out to your athletic director. I think there's a principal committee meeting on the 21st. On the vote, I know they just sent a survey out today, and I'm sure there was a lot of emails going out today for sure because a lot of people were not really happy having a 4-team Division 1. It's embarrassing.
Yeah, to only have 4 teams. I mean, not for nothing, but some coaches need to have more pride in their program. You know what I mean? This whole thing is too much of, everybody gets a trophy. And it's not a given. I understand right now, Bishop Hendrick's on a great run, an unbelievable run, but things come to an end. Central brought them to the wire last, down to almost the last play of the game.
What a great game that
It was,
was.
and they can be beat. And it's like, a lot of these coaches throwing the towel. Oh no, you know what? I'd rather just go drop down division and try to win a title. You know what? Shame on them.
It is making the state look soft. One of the groups I'm part of with Voice Sports, I asked in their general question, how many teams are in your one division? I was surprised talking to them Georgia coaches, how many schools there are down there. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Well, yeah.
We got we
Once
got
you get out,
43 and we're upside down.
yeah, once you get out of Rhode Island, I mean, you see, you know, hundreds of schools. Obviously, I mean, if you break it down, Max Preps ranks, what is it, about 16,000 teams. You know what I mean? And only 43 come from Rhode Island. There's only 49 other states. So
And Coach Simpson made a good point. It makes us look soft. No, it definitely
it really
does.
does.
And
It really does.
a couple days ago, I had the coach on from New Hampshire from the Lancers, and I actually sent him the episode of the podcast, and he responded, 4 teams, huh? With a question mark, like what? What did I get myself into? Because from the outside looking in, you see 4 teams in the top division in football. That we just, an NFL play, kids in the NFL was just here a couple of years ago. Xavier Truss up in Georgia. So someone looks at Rhode Island and there's only 4 teams. No wonder why Hendrick's always great. Only
Yeah.
4 teams in the division.
It's an embarrassment. You know what I mean? And RIIL and like I said, and a bunch of other coaches should all be ashamed of themselves.
Is this the new biggest crime?
Yeah, right next to Pontigancer in D4 last year. The next biggest crime is 4 teams in Division 1. That's it's ridiculous.
Yeah, but I guess in Indianapolis they have 1 through 6A, 28 schools in 1A. Imagine that, 28 schools in their in their Division 1, and we can't get 4. And then that's not it. Let me show you this. It actually says right here. It says, I think it says, any school that are looking to play up, let us know. If you want to go to D1, just any volunteers. We're taking volunteers, unless I'm
Yeah,
reading this wrong. Yeah, D2 teams to compete in their schedule. Division 1 will contain the top 4 teams to state plus play any schools requesting to move up.
yeah.
Anybody?
It's sad, like especially when you look at the
Bueller?
enrollment. When you look at enrollment in a lot of these other schools, off the top of my head, Cumberland. You know what I mean? That's a Division 1 school. Even Woonsocket, that's a Division 1 school. When you look at the amount of kids that are enrolled. Um, I mean, I wish I had a list in front of me to go. If we were going to strictly go by that, but we are obviously more than a 4-team Division 1 state. That's insane.
No, it is. It's definitely embarrassing. And Coach Simpson says, these coaches think they're going to escape playing Hendrick and LaSalle, but we'll still play them as a non-league now. Exactly. You're still going to play these teams because there's only, so now you have to play non-league. And with Portsmouth, Cumberland, all them guys being over, in the new Division 2,
Mhm.
you're still gonna play these teams. And it just looks like you running
Well,
because
hopefully, and not to pick on Cumberland, all right, but I'm gonna bring them up as an example. We played them this past, was it this year or last year? I think it was this past season, right? And the way the whole breakdown was, it didn't really matter for them if they won the game or didn't. Um, anyway, long story short, they played that game to survive. I'm sitting there watching the game. The first series they threw the ball, once or something like that, and, it was intercepted. We scored. But after that, they just went into a shell and just kept running the ball up the middle. Didn't matter if it was third and long, second and long, whatever. And they would just run their 3 dive plays and then punt. I was embarrassed for them. You know what I mean? I made some comments about it last year. Obviously people denied that that's what was going on, but I've been around football my whole life, and I know when I'm watching a team just go into a shell and throw a game. You know what I mean? And it's sad. You know what I mean? Have some pride.
oh yeah, no, definitely. But he's right. If D2 teams have to play these Power 4 teams, we might as well call it a Power 4 again.
Yeah, yeah.
Why not keep it the same and have 2 championships? Like,
Sounds right. Yeah, go ahead.
every year, it's just getting more confusing. I thought last season was kind of like whoopie whoop.
They're too busy trying to please everybody, and while they're doing that, they're making a giant shit show. To be honest with you,
Yeah, I mean, like, and they say, "Oh, Mikey,
and you know
you
what,
make
you
you
know what,
make the
before
game look
before we
bad."
go on though, you know what, and kudos to you, Mikey, for bringing this out and hopefully getting more people to talk about it. Hopefully, this will put some pressure on the RIIL and get them to do something about it. I mean, it's a shame that um, you're, I'm happy you're doing, but it's a shame that the clown over there at Providence Journal, what I mean, does he ever speak up about anything, or is he just licking boots all the time? Because he just seems to go along with
Exactly.
everything.
That's my guy. That's Captain Week Ago Dolls coming out next week. They'll be in stores. He'll talk about this next week when he gets clearance to talk about it. He's always late on it. He's
Yeah,
definitely always late. He don't talk about none of this stuff. And I hope he didn't just break my computer. Oh, there we go. I was getting nervous for a minute. But you know what? A lot of these older coaches, they just and I say this respectfully, and I don't mean all the older coaches, but there are some of these guys that just want the easy way to the championship. You see these young guys, they working year round, putting in the work. And then you look at how this whole realignment's coming up. You got guys like Coach Blake, Mike Washington, that's just sending email after email. He said, I sent an email to all the coaches giving them a breakdown of the 12, 12, 12, 7 and the 12, 12, 12, 9. I actually like the 12 the 10, 12, 12, 9. Hoping the visualization alignment will make coaches realize. I hope it makes people open their eyes, because we definitely do not need a 14 D1. This is why people are saying, why did Classical win a championship and they're in D3 right now?
That's ridiculous. I mean, yeah, you win the championship Division 2, you should at least be coming back to Division 2 to defend it. You're gonna drop a division, you know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, I'm a big McCall fan. I think he's one of the best coaches in the state. I love what he does with his programs. I love how he gets his kids recruited and all that stuff. But if because I know he's on the board, is that correct?
Oh yeah, he is. Him, Lima.
Yeah, if he's on the board and arguing to go down to Division 3, shame on him, because actually the argument can be made he should be in Division 1. Never mind Division 2. But again, this is why people need to make noise, bring this to the light, so these people can be exposed and be embarrassed. I think they should be embarrassed.
No, you're absolutely right. 4 teams that was in the Division 2 playoffs are now in Division 3.
It's laughable. You know what I mean? It's laughable.
And I want to take this time, let everybody know. Go check out Wes's new book. You can order it at RallyPointMen'sMinistries.org, or you can go to Amazon. But go to RallyPointMen'sMinistry.org and grab his book. Pastor Pennington, big supporter of the show. You had the book, right?
I did. I read the book actually in a few hours. It was a very interesting book. I couldn't put it down. It's only about 100 pages long. Very informative, very entertaining. He did a great job on that book. Recommend it to anybody who's looking for a quick read.
And definitely always check out Uncle Felix. He's got a show, Rhode Island Ranked, over there on Instagram. But let's get into a little bit about this realignment. I wanted you to come on specifically. I want to get into some Northsmithfield talk, because I think at this point, with them being in Division 3, it's just they're in a really, really tough situation. They graduated 6 guys. They only had 20. If they start the season with 14, maybe they'll be lucky.
Yeah, that's insane. As you know, I coached over at Northsmithfield for many years with Coach Pennington. He turned that team around, turned the culture around there. Made them a winning team. Went back-to-back undefeated seasons. Won a Super Bowl ultimately before he left on to go coach at West Warwick. And, it's like they're being Coach Piva is now being punished for Pennington's success. I get it. They win Super Bowls in a row, move them up to Division 3. Give them a chance there. And they did play there. They did not do well. They only have about 500 students total. You figure half of that are boys, so that leaves you with 200 and change in boys. And football there is the secondary sport. Everybody knows Northsmithfield's a soccer town. You know what I mean? So, and I know they're a co-op with Mount St. Charles, but I think last year they had one kid on the team from Mount St. Charles. So can you, if you can really even call that a co-op, I don't know. But clearly they do not belong in Division 3, especially since Division 3 is like the new Division 2. So it's almost like they're being moved up again. Northsmithfield is clearly a Division 4 team, and that's where they should go.
In my personal opinion, the definition of a D4 team is Northsmithfield. Low enrollment, like you said, it is not a football town. Did they have a couple of good seasons? They sure did, but think about this. They only won 3 games in the last 2 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm almost positive that them losses were by way more than 14 points. I mean,
If you can justify Classical winning a Super Bowl and being dropped a division, you can easily justify North Smithfield dropping to Division.
and
And
I
and
exactly. Thank you.
this is where this is what needs to be exposed. This is what needs to be talked about, and hopefully something will be done about it. Because at the end of the day, you're actually talking about a health risk here. You know what I mean? If they're trying out 14 kids, okay, let's say even if they double that number, the 28 kids, both sides of the ball is 22 guys, and we know obviously those smaller schools have kids that play both ways. You're going to have freshmen, you're going to have kids who never played the sport before, and you're going to trot them out there to play schools that are bringing out 50, 60 kids on the sideline. That's insane. You know what I mean? It wouldn't even become about winning games. It would be more about surviving games. You know what I mean? My heart goes out to Coach Piver there. I know he's a great coach, but he can only work with what he has. And you know what I mean? So again, that's a program clearly that belongs in Division 4.
And if RIIL, if they want them to be a D3, fine, so be it, right? But let's make it a true Division 3, right? Not the defending Division 2 champs. 4 of the other Division 2 teams were all in the playoffs last year in Division 2. Now, I know Tolman did say that they did not ask to go down. Coach DeLawrence, Reamer, and McCall are all on the board. But one of Tolman's assistant coaches said, we did not ask to go down. But I think that North Smithfield playing 5 of these relative teams, right? They're not even going to have a chance to catch their breath. And I'll tell you what, they're going to get pounded 5 or 6 out of these 8 games. And I say that respectfully.
So did I hear that right? So Tolman is a Division 3?
Yes, Tolman is also in Division 3.
And Tolman, relatively speaking, is a high enrollment school in the state of Rhode Island.
Coventry is in Division 3.
And Coventry is actually, I think, in the top 5.
Yes, they are. They have a very big
when it comes to
enrollment.
We're going to put them up against the North Smithfield. Again, this starts to become a health issue if these kids can even make it through a season. You know what I mean? And that's how our RIIL needs to think about.
These kids are playing to stay alive. A couple years ago, I went kind of ham over Burrville being in D1, only because, small program, small school, they always struggle. Same thing here. It is not right for any team to be outmatched across the board. I mean, I get that. It's happening at the top in Division 1, but I don't think the issue should be run down and hill with the impact of these small programs because
it reminds me of what happened in Pennsylvania. Okay. I'm good friends with former New England Patriot Ty Law, who went to Aliquippa. And Aliquippa is a very dominant football team in Pennsylvania, but they're also a very small school. Their total enrollment, according to Ty, when I last talked to him, was about 300 kids. Their football team carries about 30, 40 kids, you know what I mean, on a good year. But they constantly win, Super Bowls, and they've been moved up, I forget how many years in a row now. And this year, Ty himself had to step in and personally appeal to the state of Pennsylvania, and brought up basically what I'm saying here, with that it's a health concern because, in their situation, again, a team trotting out 30 kids going against a team that's trotting out 100 kids. You know what I mean? It's eventually you might be able to compete in a game or two, but when you talk about a 10-game season, 8-game season, you know what I mean? The grind of the football, the wear and tear. You know what I mean? When you're playing teams that can, sub in and out like that, it becomes a health issue, and this needs to be the primary concern of RIIL. You know what I mean? Not people, not worrying about people's feelings. You need to worry about these kids' health.
Can we clap it up for Uncle Felix one time? Yeah, I mean, Blake said, facts, Uncle Felix. But you're absolutely right. Burrville versus LaSalle couple on last season, they actually had to call the game early on because of a similar situation. You know, you run out of personnel. Johnston, Juanita Sanchez, a couple years ago. Juanita ran out of men.
Yeah.
That didn't sound right? Juanita, Juanita Sanchez ran out of ball players, and they had to call the game.
Mm.
um, but no, exactly. I see
A
teams
couple,
playing with 16.
North Smithfield almost had to fold when Coach Pennington was there because they were going into games with like 15 kids or something like that. You know what I mean? You're just an injury or two away from not even being able to play.
Coach Pennington came on last. He didn't come on, but he was in the comment section last night saying that we was in this situation. We almost had to fold.
Yeah, and this is the same team they're trying to put in a Division III, which is technically a Division II.
Yes, exactly. Give me 1 second. Yeah. So how do we fix this?
We got to do what you're doing, Mikey. We got to make noise, right? We have to bring it to their attention, bring it to the attention. Parents got to make noise. Can't sit back and just let them, run rampant, rampant with nonsense. I mean, it's shame on us, in all honesty, not to change the subject, but shame on us, coaches and stuff, for standing by and letting them do what they did with this. You know what I mean? But what they did while we're playing football, fine, without any limitations. Uh, here RIL put up all sorts of restrictions, cancel games, kids sitting out games, all bunch of nonsense. And shame on us as parents for putting up with it. But here this is even worse of an issue because now you're talking about your kids physically getting hurt. Because of their incompetence. They need something needs to be said. People need to stand up.
And there's other North Smithfield teams out there. Like it's just I'm just using North Smithfield as an example because I know their enrollment. I know what they have, and starting out the season right now, walking into it, you got 14 kids. Maybe you can drag some kids down the hallway and you get 20. But look who you're going against. Let me pull up that schedule. Look who your competition is. Like you're going against Tolman, Coventry, you teams that were in the playoffs last season.
You're going against the class Division II champions, classical.
Basically.
That's insane.
Let me look for this, and I want to play. I've been showing people. I know the NBA is trying to push this. Check this out.
Oh my goodness! Every GM needs that.
Oh, that's the play of the night so far for Miami.
Wade, alley-oop to James! There's the exclamation point. Alley-oop to James! Another.
Alley-oop to James.
Say this. I know that's animated because there's no way that big head would fit in that basket.
That's the new lifelike basketball. It feels better. You palm it better. Brought to you by yours truly. Oops, wrong one. But
And I heard it's filled with hot air.
It's filled with some type of air, But after we did the coaches thing last week, a couple days later, he actually that's why we call him Mr. Week ago, But he's watching. Salute to you, Eric. Keep doing what you're not doing. Yeah. So let me get the schedule up here for the Division III, and we'll see exactly who they are playing. What's this one? 2. Everyone but the one I need. I got it here, so. Where is it? Hold on. I was just looking at it. Let's see what this message is. Would they be pushing the 4-team Division 1 if Cumberland was in the top 4 this year? Felix, I'll let you answer that actually because you come from that side of town.
Yeah, I live here in Lincoln. I'm familiar with the Cumberland thing. I don't want to seem like I'm picking on them. You know what I mean? Uh, but they have a coach who sits on the board, and obviously is influencing this whole thing. And clearly, they belong in Division One. I think it's a slap in the face to the kids who live in Cumberland because they're loaded with great athletes. They can compete. There's no need to have that. Everybody deserves a trophy attitude when it comes to Cumberland. I mean, I'm sure if you ask the kids, they want to play against the best. And that coach needs to unleash his kids and play against the best, and stop worrying about if I'm going to win a championship or not. You know what I mean? You go out there, you make your team better, you get better every week. Championship.
I'm just gonna read it until I can upload it, but I know I had it up there. 1 second. Yeah, he does influence the board, I would say.
Yeah, it's just that's crazy. I can't believe you won. It's so asinine and atrocious that you should be like, that's a crime. That's insane.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. But
Just even find them. You know what I mean? Who took a team and you can't say, oh, this team won this division this year. We're gonna drop them a division for this. That doesn't even make any sense. I don't care, where you come from. That doesn't make any sense.
it don't make any sense at all. And I didn't have a chance to get down and get the division snake yet, but it looks like all right, Classical. It looks like will probably be you got Classical, Moses Brown, Mount Hope, Tolman, Coventry, West Warwick, Pilgrim, Charahoe, Narragansett, Middletown, Rogers, Lincoln, North Smithfield, Johnson, Pontiac, and Tollgate, all in the same division. I'm gonna get it uploaded to the screen so you can actually see it. But that is crazy, and it looks like it'll be Classical, Mount Hope, Coventry, Pilgrim, Narragansett. Am I saying that right? Middletown, Lincoln, Johnson, and Tollgate, and then you'll have Pontiac, North Smithfield, Rogers, Narragansett, Pilgrim, Tolman, and Moses Brown. It's a 16-team division.
That's crazy. 16-team division. I mean, there's only 43 teams in the in the state. No division should have 16 teams.
Blake said, send those top 8 back up to 1. Yeah, exactly. Right here. Send Cumberland, Portsmouth, SK. Maybe you think Barville too? I mean,
what their enrollment is over there. I mean, I know they have a great program. I'm not sure. I don't know what their enrollment numbers are.
I think Barville should be a Division two. They always been a small school. They just coached well. Coach Ferraro and his staff over there coached the Charo. But you look at Division two, right? Cumberland should be in D1. Get over there, shorty. Portsmouth. I don't know why. Is this going to be another case of Barrington? Oh, I can't win. I can't win. Send me to Division two. Like him and St. Ray's a couple years ago. I won a championship. SK are they a Division two team or can they last in D1? Right?
D1 school. So is St. Ray's. You know what I mean? Same private school. You know what I mean? They've been more than successful in Division two. You know what I mean? They even beat a Division one team last year. So why are they still in Division two?
Woonsocket I think should be in Division two. Do you really think they belong in one?
Because they have a very high enrollment. They might be one of the biggest schools in the state. You know what I mean? So that's a huge school.
Okay, all right. Shout out Coach B-Ball. So we're out Mount Pleasant. I'm all right with them being in Division Two. I
Yeah,
heard they got a good line coach come down, an expatriate guy. I don't really know his name, but SK was in a state championship playoff last season. Yeah, they was. But on the other hand, like almost everybody made the playoffs last season. What was it? Just two teams out of D1 did not make the playoffs last season. I think it was both Cranston teams, if I'm not mistaken.
everybody got a playoff spot last year.
Everybody. Are you even discussing how many kids are in the school population wise? Are you talking about the kids who get full free education to play somewhere? Hang on, let me put their comment up here so we can understand it. Are you even discussing how many kids are in a school population wise? Are you talking about the kids who get full free education to play somewhere? This is crazy. You need to get all your. Okay, all right, so it must have continued. Probably get all my facts straight. Portsmouth doesn't back down, but we have 800 kids in a school. Are you talking about that? No, I don't really know Portsmouth's enrollment size. I'm saying Portsmouth is a D1 school. They can compete in D1. Never said that they were backing down, but they are in D2, and all these teams don't want to be in D1.
Yeah, you'd have to look at their enrollment size, relative to everybody else. I mean, 800. I don't even know where that falls. I know I'm on the thing. Like I know Northsmithfield only has 500 enrollment. Um,
I actually do know this. I got it on file, but okay.
let's say you got a keyboard gangster over there.
Cha-ching. You can't talk to people. They don't have no teachable moments. He's not saying he doesn't want to be in D1. Talk to Dustin.
Dude,
Okay, he's free to actually, you know what? Why don't you tell him he can come on here and explain it? I love to have a conversation with him.
He's just looking to start some trouble because nobody was accusing backing down or anything like that. You know what I mean? But this is what this guy is making the argument for. He's a typical keyboard gangster or lady, whatever, Aaron.
A lot of programs work very hard to be where they are, but it still shows you that 4 teams in Division 1 is telling you that all these coaches did not want to be in Division 1 because if you read the Division 1 paper, it says we're even looking for volunteers.
Yeah, they're pretty much inviting anybody to step up and play Division 1. That's true. That's a good.
I mean, they're asking for people. Have done and what they are giving you can say whatever you want. No one's talking about you. I'm not going to continue this back and forth. Thank you.
It's somebody just trying to make it about themselves. I mean, thanks for playing.
I really appreciate it. All we're saying is there shouldn't be 4 teams in Division 1, and the 2 teams that are in Division 1, they have let it be clear that we asked to stay here. The league has said anybody that wants to volunteer to play up to D1, let's go. So that's all I'm saying. But respect to Portsmouth. Let's go.
Yeah,
Okay.
they put out a good product year in and year out. They're very competitive. As we know, I think they just missed the championship this year, didn't they? They lost in the semifinals or something like that. So it's a very competitive program. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
They couldn't get it done. They couldn't get it done.
People like that, whatever. Good night, Aaron.
But thank you, man. Appreciate you stopping by. No, you're definitely allowed to say what you want, but we're on to the next division. Respect to Portsmouth. This really wasn't even about D1. I was trying to talk about Division 3, but for other teams, but Portsmouth did very well last season, actually.
They did. They had one of the best players in the whole state there, and Benny Hurt, who I had the pleasure of coaching basketball and football. Great kid, great family.
That's right. Great cornerback as well, right? He could play the backfield.
Yeah, great safety, great quarterback, all around athlete, good kid.
All right, let me get back into this congratulations to all these kids. You know, this is a great, great achievement. The Rhode Island Chapter National Football Foundation. I don't have all their names written down, but congratulations.
Yeah, I recognize a few kids there. There's Lynch, obviously from Hendricken. Right next to him is Proctor from Cumberland. A lot of these kids I don't recognize without a. I think that's Achado over there in the front with the red tie. They're from John.
They should wear their jerseys and pads.
I don't know them, and I really don't recognize them. Their jerseys and pads. Yeah.
They're definitely so uncomfortable in a suit and tie. Let them wear the jerseys and pads. All right. How do you feel about Tolman in Division III?
I don't feel like they belong there. Again, that's a high enrollment school. Before I came on, I checked the enrollments of schools. I should have brought the list.
Should have got Portsmouth.
And yeah, I should have. But I should have brought the list with me, but I didn't. But I just remember Tolman, being up there in enrollment. So they definitely don't belong in 3. You know what I mean? Maybe 2, possibly 1. I'm gonna assume that they're about the same size as Shea. You know what I mean? And where's Shea this year? Are they in 2?
Yeah, everybody. They
yeah, Division 2
ghost town. D1's a ghost town.
Division 2 seems like the new Division 1.
You had 2. It was like our town's being invaded, and you had them 2 people that refused to move, and that was NK and Central. They said we're sitting tight. Mike Washington let it be known. He said, win or lose, I ain't ducking any smoke. I mean, and he let it be known.
You gotta respect that. You know what I mean? I like that about him. You know what I mean? He's not backing down. You want to be the best, you got to beat the best. And that's the way I wish more coaches would feel about their program. You know what I mean? Show that confidence in your kids. Show that confidence in your own self and your own program.
Blizzy Blake always coming through with, like, there's nothing he don't. This guy needs to be on the board.
Oh, there you go.
Once he does get on the board, people be like talking about him like they're talking about Lima and then that damn Blake. He didn't push this through. But no, guys like Blake, guys like Dunbar, I think they should be on the board. I know coaches that requested to be on the board and they didn't even get an email back. I know another coach that requested to be on the board. Oh, you haven't been around long enough. So I don't know. They need people on the board, but I don't know what the criteria is. I know DeLawrence is on the board. I know McCall is on the board. I know, just in case you want to reach out to any of these people and ask them about any of this. DeLawrence, McCall. Lima. Lima's on the board. So
no, people definitely need to make noise. I mean, people should not be happy about this. It's an embarrassment, in my opinion.
Now, Johnston is actually on Pontegansett. I think Pontegansett is going to struggle in Division 3. Honestly, they lose a lot of kids this season.
But as we know, they're not a Division 4 team. So, it's unfortunate though because Division 3 seems like the new Division 2.
Division, yeah, it is the new Division 2.
That's what maybe. I don't even want to throw that out there. Maybe they should go 5 divisions.
Don't give them no ideas. They'd be like, "Oh yeah, we can actually get another Super Bowl out of this thing." Why don't we just have a bigger Division 4? I mean, there's more teams we could put in D4 where they can keep Division 4 competitive. That's their problem.
If you leave it up to RIIL, they'll put out 20 divisions. Everybody's in the Super Bowl.
Hey, even a blind squirrel finds a nut. Well, yeah, they almost had everybody in the Super Bowl, and I think I gotta say, man, and I ain't making no excuses for Pilgrim, but I think having all them teams in the playoffs that hurt Pilgrim. I think if Charahoe was not at Pilgrim that game, I think it's a different situation. Everything went against Pilgrim, and I ain't making no excuses for Blake. Tornado that night.
When you do stuff like that and you allow pretty much everybody in the playoffs, it makes the regular season almost meaningless. You know what I mean? And teams should be rewarded for having a great regular season. You know what I mean? And the playoffs should be an award, not a right. You know what I mean? Not everybody deserves to be in the playoffs. Like we need to stop this nonsense of trying to make everybody happy.
Yeah, it says right there, Division One will contain top four teams in state playoffs for schools requesting to move up. Um, but no, you're absolutely right. It's not. It's not taken seriously. How do you think about West Warwick over there in Division Three? I'm okay with that.
I'm fine with it because it's basically like they didn't move though because there's
Yeah, right. They're still in Division Two, actually. Oh my god, I didn't even think of that. Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, yeah.
you know
Charahoe was better that day,
you,
hands down.
you
Respect.
would think dropping to Division 3 you would escape playing like classical and tone and all those schools, but nope, they're all right there again.
I know it, right? You're like, yeah, good. I can get away from these guys, and you're like, damn, here they are. Here they are again. Yeah, and it looks like West Warwick would have what? Tolman. I gotta get these snaked. I actually have. I think I got a snaked. And every division is gonna be snaked as well as Division 4, as far as I know.
Yeah.
So you have to play teams in your snake.
I like that comment by Coach Simpson. Spoken like a true coach.
Oh yeah, definitely. But I just think that everything was going against them. The stands were shut down. Like all of a sudden, one guy got to bring a tape measure to a damn soccer game and start measuring bleachers. Like how boring was that soccer game? But like I don't know. I think if the schedule might have went a different way, but it didn't. If 6 teams were not allowed in the playoffs, I think if every team wasn't allowed in the playoffs, I think it would have been.
Yeah, they were trying to cover up for their own incompetence the way they handle this whole thing with COVID, teams canceling, forfeiting, this and that. So they were trying to cover it all up by just saying, all right, well, everybody gets in the playoffs then.
Well, speaking of Charahoe, now they lose a coach. Their coach goes on to Worcester State.
Oh, good.
He's now the running back coach. Breaking news, if you didn't know.
Mr. the reporter, Mr. a week ago, did he report on that yet?
Come on. Seriously? Who's he talk to? He talks to like 3 coaches.
Does he? But he probably has to convince the AD to get them to talk to him.
He talks to 3 coaches, man. I remember he called Coach Fortin's AD last season. He said he called me a coward. He won't talk to me. I said, Cliff, that might be the reason why you're the assistant at Pontiac now. I said maybe he has something to do with it, but yeah, Eric really called the AD. Said your coach said he does to the podcast, and the AD was like, "Oh, you have to talk to him. He picks the All-State."
Yeah.
Breakthrough's out there heading out to Atlanta. Congratulations to Breakthrough. Worcester State don't need no running backs. I knew he was going to say that.
Just throw the ball.
Throw the ball to my guy, Kevon Davis.
That Kevon Davis had one hell of a year for them last year. I forget what his numbers were, but they were amazing.
Coach B-Ball will tell you.
Yeah.
Give him a minute. He'll let you know.
I posted him up on Rhode Island Ranked. Kudos to him. That's awesome.
Coach B-Ball was sporting his back-to-back rings at the New England clinic the other day in Newport.
But that Davis, he definitely represented one socket there. That was nice.
Yeah, that's a fact. I was watching him and his assistant coach Eddie putting stats up all season.
See, back-to-back rings. That's why Coach B belongs in D1.
Under 30. I heard Coach Washington had to let it be known. As soon as Russo resigned, he said, "Oh, I'm the youngest coach now in football. Let it be known." Coach Mike is outside, the youngest coach in football.
Yeah, making me feel old because I remember coaching him.
Yeah, I like what Coach Mike's doing over there at Central. I think Central's going to be a good team. Hendrickens playing the Lancers on September 9th. I'm sure Keith don't want to know that, so don't tell nobody. Don't let nobody know, but I only know because I had the coach on my show the other day, and new Tiverton coach. Oh, he's younger than Mike. Damn, Mike, that lasted 26 hours. You were the youngest coach in football for 26 hours. What's his name? Sheridan, Brian Sheridan, if I'm not mistaken. Dylan Sheridan, 26 years old. He was the O-line coach under Coach Murray.
Coach Washington could say he's the youngest Division I coach.
He was the youngest coach for 26 hours. Shout out to my guy Mike, man. Blake said he was the best dressed. He's definitely the best dressed. Mike's got a tough job over there at Central. I don't think it's as easy as people think it is. They think, oh, Mike's so cool. They all just listen to him and do everything. I'm sure he has his hands full. But shout out to the youngest coach in the state for 26 hours. And congratulations to the new youngest coach in the state, Dylan Sheridan. Maybe Blake can get him to come on the podcast. And definitely promote. They got a young team. They had a very good young team last season.
Their quarterback was a freshman. They had a very, very young team last year. So you figure that team in another couple of years is going to be something to reckon with.
I like Situate's quarterback, actually. The young kid. I think he's going to be a junior this year. Wolf. I'm hearing a lot of things from some of the camps about him. So he should be.
Yeah,
we lost a lot of quarterback. He's in Situate. I think his name's Wolf or something. Wolf.
Yeah.
I'll actually find out. But we lost a lot of quarterbacks last season. That graduated.
But I'll be honest with you though. The two top quarterbacks in the state are both coming back.
Yes, Dean and Eddie. Dean's out there in Atlanta. No, I don't know if Dean went to Atlanta, but I know Eddie Bueller was out there a couple of weeks ago in Vegas, and now he's in Atlanta with Coach Dunbar and his guys.
That whole thing, and I know I mentioned it before, but that whole thing that Coach Dunbar is doing is so awesome for Rhode Island football as far as getting these kids, getting their passing game up and getting their passing game, honing those skills. It really shows in the season. Like it wasn't that long ago where, we weren't chucking the ball like that around, not every team anyway. And now you look around Rhode Island and a lot of teams, with a lot of great quarterbacks out there.
Yeah, we're definitely going to have Coach Lazan from New Hampshire back on throughout the season. We want to try to get all of Rhode Island out to this game. Bishop Hendricken versus New Londonderry Lances. It's going to be September 9th. I'm hoping Rhode Island shows up whatever day we play.
Oh, yeah. I will. I know I will be there. Speaking of quarterbacks, Hendricken's got a very interesting quarterback situation brewing over there. So
I heard they got a young gun, huh?
Well, no, as far as I know, they got two kids. Both will be going into their senior year, and both very good quarterbacks. It's gonna be interesting to see which way they go.
Yeah, definitely. I talked to Coach Croft a couple weeks ago. He was in Florida, but I actually met Jason Hogan, Coach Hogan. I didn't meet him, but we kind of communicated through Facebook. But definitely keep promoting the Rhode Island New Hampshire game. Would it be better to have that game on a day where there's not other games going on, so we can get Rhode Island to show up big? Since there is an out-of-state team coming in. And if that is the case, should it be at a location that can fit more people, or can Hendricken fit?
And I'm not sure, and Coach Hogan can answer this, if they, because we went up to Iona Prep this past season. So I think Iona Prep is coming down to Rhode Island too this year, if they're continuing those games.
I ditto what Coach Blaken said. Is that Dylan Michael, get your boy Dylan Sheridan on the show. We want to hear from the newest coach in Rhode Island. That's right. Come on the show, Coach Sheridan. You are welcome on the show. I mean, I did say I thought they were going to hire outside of the program, but other than that, come on the show. I love to meet you. Don't listen to what they say. It's like going to the doctors for the first time. You're only nervous. coming on this show. Ask Coach Cook. But yeah, I welcome all the coaches to come on. I mean, I don't sandbag any coach. We just want to have fun, talk football, promote the game, and keep everybody on their toes.
Yes, sir.
Keep everyone on their toes. That's a fact. But I can't wait for that New Hampshire game. And just because it's an out-of-state team coming to Rhode Island, it puts a different look on Rhode Island. We just got to market that team. Hopefully, Hendricken does what it has to do to market the team. Hopefully, New Hampshire comes down here. And coaches, I'm hearing there's a few New Hampshire teams that want games.
They want the smoke.
He said, not this year. So that game probably be at Hendricken. Oh, yeah. Well, what it is Massachusetts, it's not getting points if they play out-of-state games. So it don't really do any good for them to play an out-of-state team because heading to the playoffs, when they need all the points, Mass teams are not getting the points. Oh, there was a schedule. Oh, so it's
no Iona game.
Oh, okay. The Iona game isn't going to happen. Okay. Nobody wants to play Hendricken, not even Iona. See? Blake Simpson said Mike spends 18 hours a day at Central High School, always grinding. Yeah, shout out to Mike, but it's been a great one, Felix.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
And Northsmithfield, I hope the league can do something, make adjustments to get them into D4. I hope it don't have to come down to like what Juanita Sanchez did a couple of years ago. They left the Scholastic League, and I think they played like a JV type schedule. I know a couple of schools looking for out-of-state non-league games. Great to see. Yes, definitely. And them New Hampshire teams are willing to come to Rhode Island. So let's definitely make that happen. It's a great look. We have recruiters at our games. Like, that's a great way to sell the fight. I even told the New Hampshire guy that. But let me just get my other videos up here before I let you go. Let me see. Congratulations to these guys for sure. What's a new alignment mean for a team like Northsmithfield? I don't think it's good at all. Did you see this list? Not too bad, huh?
What's this?
This is the UMass Dartmouth Conference Awards.
Yeah, what a season they had.
That
one for the history books for that program.
Talk about the history books tomorrow. The rise and fall of Slaughterhouse. Crooked Eye, Joel Ortiz tells their story. That's gonna be pretty good. Salute to Rally Point. The only way to stand is together. Thank you, Mark Wright, Coldwell Banker, Coastal Homes. Pilgrim running back heading to UMass Dartmouth. Of course. I mean, Ryan just works his butt off, man. Like, they trust him, these Rhode Island kids. He does a good job. He gets these Rhode Island kids. Your son's going into his second season, huh?
Yeah, I can't wait.
Stepping up, that's for sure. Definitely go out and let's support Pastor Pennington. Get his book, Through the Smoke of a Barbecue Can Teach You How God Prepares a Man. You can go to rallypointmensministries.org. Yeah, Pastor's working, man. He's writing books. He's doing podcasts. He's coaching football.
He's a good man. Like, I always like to call him the most interesting man on the planet. I mean, the dude's done it all.
Definitely done it all. All right, that's about it, man. Thank you. I'll talk to you soon, Felix. And check out Rhode Island Ranked. We'll be back every Thursday.
Keep doing what you do, Mike. God bless.
I'm working on it. Wins. Not everybody. The older coaches. They want to cry. They want to go to these RIIL meetings. And they want to cry. We're not competitive. We can't do this. I'm here. I mean, think about it. Thanks, your boy Mikey. Can we keep it real podcast? What is going on, everybody? Real quick, want to thank the people that make this possible, man. Big shout out to Mark Wright, co-op banker, Coastal Homes, a presidential award winner. We got to support the people that support youth sports. Big shout out to VOYCE Sports. Definitely check out what VOYCE Sports has going on. The VOYCE Sports Reporter Show was definitely lit this week. Big shout out to Rally Point. The only way to stand is together. And don't forget, check out what VOYCE Sports has going on with the Unfinished Business Tour. Getting ready to take off. Check out yesterday's show with Al Spears handling his thing, Showtime Athletes, and also from the Rocky Top Sports world.
When I came up, dude, football was it was gladiated. It was angry. It was angry. Like when we hit somebody, when I played, if you hit somebody and he didn't get up, like we didn't hold hands with the other team and pray, like hold hands and everyone prays for him to get up. We used to do a Indian, like sell a hump dance circle around him, like, man.
You're doing. I'm always following you, man. I know you out in Westerly, so we kind of stay close. So I'm seeing everything you're doing. I'm seeing the VOYCE Sports stuff and how they're kind of reaching really the nation. They're doing stuff all over the country. So if there's anybody VOYCE Sports that wants to tap into to this market in Rhode Island and New England, trying to expand a little bit, definitely hit me up and you can get my info from Mikey.
What y'all thought we was done? Oh, we ain't never done. It's Mr. Spin Your Block. Yeah, it's the remix.
Get ready, it's coming. You hunting or you running? Get ready, get ready, get ready.